They said, no, but if you turn around, you'll see him. And here he was standing right behind us. And I wanted to be just like her. It chokes me up to talk about her. The lovely lady. And he says, you see that girl up there? And he was talking about me.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, that's what I want you to meet. He said, I'm going to marry her someday.
You met a president.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Mm-hmm. So
And-
what's that story of meeting a
Okay,
president?
it also happened at...
Welcome back to the Jordan Whitrock Show. I'm your host, Jordan Whitrock, and today we have, I know I say this often, but like from deep, like the heart, so low, I'm so excited about this guest. It's someone I didn't know if I was going to have the opportunity to come onto the show. I know if you're watching this episode right now, you are also probably interested in what she has to say. So I wanted to have this guest on to learn not only more about what was going on in the world when she was younger, but also to take a deeper dive into what my dad's side of the family history is, so that I can eventually tell my kids when I get older. So, without further ado, let's welcome to the show the matriarchal leader of my family, Lana Whitrock. Woo!
So, hello.
I know this is weird for you because I'm assuming you've never been on a podcast before.
Never.
No. So, however, we did talk right before we started the show about how your name has a little story to it and that you wanted to share maybe how that came about.
I was born in the Catholic hospital, of course, with nuns as nurses, and they wanted to know from my mother exactly what she was going to name me when I was fresh out of the womb.
As they always do.
And she says Lana Lee Bain.
Okay.
And they said, oh no, the middle name is not Catholic. Lee is not a Catholic, so you may not use Lee.
Wow.
So we will change that to Leh, L-E-H. There was a Saint Leh. I didn't know about him, but apparently he was there.
Well, thankfully they caught that because that would have been terrible. No.
Yeah, wouldn't that been a mistake?
I'm trying to think. I think my dad's name is Tyler Lee Whitrock.
Absolutely. I relaxed those religious rules a little bit.
You let that one slide by, yeah.
And so was Debbie's middle name, Lee. 'Cause, I mean, I like that.
Yeah. Well, it was something that you couldn't have, you know? Yeah.
Right.
That's funny.
You want to bet?
Yeah.
We can have it. And,
Okay.
you
All right. So my main goal with you on coming on the show, which I'm so thankful that you were willing to take time out of your schedule to do this for me, was I think when you're younger, you don't understand how important, history is, or just your own family history. And as I've gotten older, I've always loved history, but as I've gotten older, I've always been like, I wonder what like my great grandpa, like what did he do, and like things like that. And like for me, you're my last grandparent alive. So 3 of them have already passed away. And so I was like, oh no, I have this show. Like, how am I going to remember this? And I was like, what if she was willing to come on the show so I could just learn about where you came from, like what your parents were like and what their parents' parents were like and stuff like that. Like, what was the world like back in the 50s and 60s? Because you actually got to live it out, and whatnot. So I guess we can start the conversation off with, I know when we were chatting earlier, we talked about how you were born in 1940. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. And that's a pretty big time in history, and if we consider that recent history over the world, because that's World War II
Yes, it was.
is starting. I know you're super young, but do you remember stories of people talking about what life was like back then, and that like your mom was telling, like when you're older and you can remember those things, like of what it felt like to be in the house, because your dad served, if I'm correct, right?
Yes, he was a sailor in the Navy, of course. And He, see, now I have to think of what I want to say.
Yeah. Was he in the Pacific?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And his name was
Clement?
okay. And Bame. Right?
Yes. Clement Robert Bame.
There you go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fascinating because we've had you over here, like it seems like often, which is awesome at this house. And I think I found myself spending a lot of time with you, whether it's playing cards like learning euchre or just sitting around talking with you. And I think you were talking at some point about what it was like to grow up during like true wartime, because World War II was the last war the United States has had, because they've considered everything else after that a conflict. We didn't declare war, right? And so what was it like to be a very young kid, during that time?
Well, it was difficult being without our dad, and knowing that at any time he could be, wiped out by any number of things where he was serving. And my poor mother,
Yeah.
I remember her being very pregnant when he had to go back. He was home on leave.
Okay.
And I believe I was in kindergarten, which was, the school was very close, just a couple blocks away from our home on Apricot Street, which we were renting from my Grandpa Bain.
Okay.
Yes. And let's see. All of us children went to that school 2 blocks away to kindergarten.
Yep.
And then after that, we would walk down the hill to first grade through 8th at St. Peter and Paul Catholic Grade School.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, St. Peter and Paul was our family
Like parish?
Parish.
Yep.
Yes. And I realized early, in about 1st or 2nd grade, and so did others, that I really enjoyed playing the piano. And I wanted to probably play organ in church someday.
Yeah.
And so by the time I was in 3rd or 4th grade, one of the nuns took me upstairs to the organ. And by 5th or 6th grade, I was playing a 72 rank organ
I can't even imagine.
with 2 rows of keys and full pedal. Yes, and my piano teacher, Sister Mary William from St. Peter and Paul, gave me 1 lesson in that organ, on the organ.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't know when I would start to play. I mean, it was up to me.
Yep.
How much can you practice?
Mm-hmm.
So I practiced once or twice.
Yep.
And I went up there, and, well, this is as easy as the piano,
Yep.
It was hard to reach some of the pedals because my legs weren't real long.
And when you say that, like, the organ, for people that don't know, because there's maybe kids watching this.
It's a pipe organ.
Yep. So you have 2 levels of keys. But then instead of like on a piano where you have like 1 to 3 pedals that you push, right? An organ has like how many pedals?
Well, you'll have 2 or 3 of those underneath, which we did.
Yep.
And then below that is a
I didn't even know
complete
that.
keyboard of pedals.
Got
They were brown and black. They can be different colors.
Yeah. But so I'm picturing young grandma trying to hit these pedals way on the bottom, and I'm assuming it's the edge ones that are the ones that you're like, oh, like, trying to hit.
I kind of hung around the
Yep.
bottom 8
Yep.
or whatever it
Okay.
was. Yeah. Because the other one, you have to keep one on the volume. There's 3 volume pedals.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yes. And the one that I loved best was the 3rd one.
Okay.
And the first time I got to play for a wedding, which was probably in 8th grade, I got to press that baby down, and it made some rumble, in that church,
Yep.
It was like a huge, cathedral.
Yeah.
And you open that 72 rank, and there's big gold pipes that look like huge bullets,
Yep.
all on the back wall in front of that beautiful rose window that Monsignor Guiley had ordered or
Yep. Put in or whatever.
designed, whatever. Yeah.
Got you. I can't picture in 8th grade. I can't picture me in 8th grade playing an organ.
And you'd be perfect. You got long legs.
This
and you're
is true.
tall.
I do have long legs, but the genetics, they were killer. But in 8th grade is just crazy. So how much did you have to practice the piano? Was that something like every day or like the organ?
I took piano lessons once a week.
Okay.
And it came very easy to me. I could sight read. So I didn't practice a whole lot. They thought I did. The only time I practice is if there's going to be a recital and you really want to, trim something up a little bit better than,
That's funny because I'm not good at sight reading.
Oh.
But if I can hear it once played how it's supposed to or what it sounds like.
Sure.
I'm usually, like, unless it's very hard, I'm usually, like, I understand it. Like, maybe, and I'm talking about trumpet. That was my instrument, right?
Sure.
So it's like, if I can hear it once, it makes sense to me on paper, and then I can, which is, like, cheating.
That's great.
Cheating. But,
because
because it's not really sight reading, because sight reading is like, I don't even know what this sounds like, and we're playing it perfectly, But I think that was fun. I think the other night, 2 nights ago, you and I were at the piano here, and I whipped out my film movie score book and that I bought because I really wanted to play On Golden Pond, and I got like 10 measures in, and then I was out because I didn't know how to play bass clef. So, but it was fun to hear those songs from someone that can actually play it.
I would have liked to have practiced those songs so they were a little more polished.
I would love for you to practice, and then I can record them, so I'll always have them, Okay, so you said earlier that during the war your mom was pregnant. How many siblings do you have?
I have 8 siblings.
Okay, so there's 9 of you kids in total?
Yeah, so there was Jim is the oldest, and he's 3 years older than I am.
Gotcha.
And then there was me and Skip. We're the 3 oldest.
I always thought you were the 3rd oldest. I didn't know you were the 2nd.
Yeah, 2nd.
Crazy. See, and that's why we're doing this, so I can learn.
Yeah.
All right, and then you had the rest of your siblings.
Oh, yeah.
We don't talk about them.
I mean, when I was 11 years old, my mother and dad could leave me with a whole house full of babies. And I mean, however old they were. And they knew that those kids would be fed.
Because you were the oldest
taken
daughter.
care of.
So
yeah.
That's kind of like even Rachel. I mean, not 8 siblings, but 4 siblings. It's like she would be the babysitter
you just
when
mother
you
them
can. And she had that older sister mothering, that maybe Caitlin didn't have, but that's because it wasn't expected out of her, and like.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Got you. So.
And my sister, Barb, was 6 years younger than I was.
How many boys and girls were there then?
6 boys.
Okay.
3 girls. Yeah.
Got you.
And Tammy was born.
Yeah.
The
youngest.
way younger.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So.
Like she's Kim's age, my Kim's age. They were kind of aunt and cousin,
Yeah.
born in the same year, and they were friends. You know,
Yeah.
they were buddies. And
That's crazy to
pretty
think
crazy.
about. Mm-hmm. Personally, because I don't think I could have a kid right now, and I don't think my parents would want another kid right now.
Oh, you never know. I think they would.
Yeah. But so are you from Wisconsin Rapids? Like, is that where?
Yes.
So you said you were born in Wausau, right?
Yeah, born in Wausau,
Okay.
Wisconsin.
Was your family in Wausau, or like how did you end up in Wisconsin Rapids?
My father was fortunate enough to land a job at Consolidated Papers in Wisconsin Rapids, and that's when we moved from Wausau.
Yep.
He did menial jobs in Wausau. I remember him saying he was setting pins in bowling alleys, jobs like that.
Yeah, because
they didn't pay very well.
No, because it's not mechanicalized.
Right. And my mother, she had no time to work. I mean, it was impossible.
Yeah. What was to the best of your knowledge, what was like an average salary back then? You know?
Boy, I can't tell you. I would have needed time to.
So what year would that have been that he was doing? So you've been in like 41-ish or 40? Like
well,
when would you have been in Wausau still when he was doing those jobs?
What do you mean when he was doing those jobs?
Like you were saying he was doing
the bowling alley?
Yeah, like those types of jobs.
I was 1 and 2 years old.
Okay, so that would have been like 41 and 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's look up, Alex, what an average salary was. And this wouldn't have even been him because he didn't have a full-time job if he was working the part-time jobs, right?
Right.
So what was a full-time job? Like, what would that pay out compared to today? I'm interested.
Or even what did that pay out to what he was going to get in Wisconsin Rapids from the mill?
True.
Big jump in salary there.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see.
So this is AI, of course. In 1940, the average median family income in the United States was $1,231.
Wow. $100 a month. And you got all these kids.
Yeah. No wonder why it was only 5 cents to go to a movie.
I know we lived in an apartment.
Okay.
In Wausau, and I still have a nick in my head where I went down a flight of stairs in my little stroller thing. Those that you can work with your feet.
Yep.
You just whoops.
Right down the stairs.
Down all those steps, and it was a steep one.
So how old would you have been when you guys moved to Wisconsin Rapids when you got the job with the mill?
I was close to kindergarten, so
Okay.
maybe 3 or 4.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And of course, I went to kindergarten at 4 years because my birthday was in October.
Oh, so they bumped you up a grade?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so I graduated from high school at 17.
Got you. Okay, that makes more sense. Because I felt like when we were talking, it was like, oh, it's like to me that'd be a year. I was like, it confused me because I was like, wait, isn't it like 4K is when you're 4 years old, but you were in kindergarten when you were 4 years old. So
yeah,
which for being an October birthday is kind of crazy. Like, you would think they would have kept you in that grade instead of. Because, like, an August birthday, for example, would be, like, one that I'd be like, well, the school year hasn't started, so you could really choose,
and a lot of kids where that happened with their birthdays, they did keep them. You had to produce or...
Yeah. Do you think that affected anything with you? Like, just being a year younger in your grade, basically?
I'm sure it did. I don't think I...
Yeah. Not to the point where you'd still remember it.
Yeah, I don't remember being super stupid or anything like that. I could still play you know, everybody join hands in the circle and sing la la
We're
la,
gonna
you
throw
know.
the curtain up and everyone sit down. No, yeah. That's so
And you know,
funny.
2 or 3 years later, I'm playing the piano, so they
Yeah,
can all
exactly.
do this in 8th grade or whatever
Yep.
grade it was,
Mm-hmm.
the higher grades.
That's funny. Okay, so at 11 years old, you're babysitting your siblings. Is it back then? Is it common for a kid to get a job at like a gas station or something like, or like what did you do? Did you have a job like through high school or anything like that?
Playing the organ,
'Kay.
like
Yep.
I could play for the big when I got playing for the big choir, which was early in life.
Yep.
They paid $150 in December and in June.
So they just paid you twice a year, but
Twice
they
a year.
accumulated everything. I
But
think, yeah.
if I did a funeral, they would pay extra. They would pay 10.
Yep.
Or now they get last funeral I played for, I got $200.
Okay.
You know,
I know I sang for a funeral.
which was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It was Richie's.
Got you. Okay. What was I gonna say? Oh, just on that idea. So, you played piano and organ. Did you just find yourself always like gravitating towards that through?
Oh, yeah.
Through like whatever hardship, whether your family was going through something or whatever, like that was your safe place. Like you'd be like, the piano's my safe place. Is
Definitely.
that? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the answer to my life,
Yep.
you know.
Why do you think that was? Was it just because it was so easy, or what did you find so enticing, I guess,
Yeah,
about the
intriguing
piano?
about
Yeah.
it. It was easy. I could just sit down and do it. I didn't have to practice.
Hmm.
You know?
Almost a Prodigy vibe.
I probably, if I'd been born into money,
Yep.
or, you know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So, your dad gets the job with the mill.
yes.
How does that change your guys' lives? Does it change it much? Does it not?
I'm sure it did for them monetarily.
Yeah.
Because I think Grandpa Beam kept us afloat for many years. He
Yeah.
had a big family and he helped everyone out.
Okay. How many? So that would have been your grandpa, right?
Yes, my dad's dad.
Okay, and which would be my great great grandpa, I think.
Yes.
Yep. So how was he able? Like, how many kids did he have?
I believe he had 9 or 10.
9 or 10 kids. Okay,
And they had a big farm.
got you.
Yeah.
What did he do for a living?
He was the head man of Woodman Accident Insurance in the United States.
Oh, so he was the top dog for the whole country.
Top dog.
For that insurance company.
Yes.
Got
And of course, he had the job at home. And
Yep. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I noticed that you'd walk in his home and he just had this little tiny cubicle, and that was his office. Wasn't even room for a chair and a desk, but there was a lot of pull-out things from the wall and
Yep.
cupboards, and
Huh.
and I guess maybe in one corner of the living room he had a desk, and we weren't allowed to touch any of it or anything.
no,
So
of course.
and I, of course, would not go
Yep.
near. You know, I was a pretty good girl.
Yeah.
And he had that and his easy chair. He loved to chew snuff.
Oh, chew snuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
chew it. And Grandma Bame hated it. She just hated with a passion.
Yep.
I think she would have rather had him smoke.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that just worse? Like, what would be her reason for it? Is it like,
Well, he sits in his chair, his easy
Yeah.
chair in the living room watching TV.
oh, okay.
You know,
Because it's
black
not,
and
doesn't
white
make an odor, so it's not like you
TV.
can't kick him out
And
of
he
the house.
picks up he has it down on the floor, newspaper.
Okay.
Yesterday's newspaper,
Yeah.
cut in half. Oh, well, he just has half of it.
Yep.
Picks up half of it, spits, covers it back up. And then guess who's got to take that mess out every
Yep.
so
Yep.
and who knows how long it takes, not probably very long for it to have an odor of its own.
Yep.
But this place was always very clean and neat,
Yeah.
and we didn't notice it, but
Yeah.
Grandma did.
Grandma did. So that would be your side of the family, right?
That was my father's
Yeah.
mother and father. And then my mother's
Yeah.
mother and father, they lived in, they also too were born, had the other kids were born on a farm in Halder,
Okay.
not far away from where my dad's
Oh.
group was. And they met in church or Catholic school.
Okay.
Like Mom said, when they were in Catholic school in the wintertime, they by horse and buggy,
Wow.
they would be taken to the nunnery, and the nuns would keep these families' kids for 2-3 months at a time because they couldn't possibly
Travel.
go through the
Yep.
snow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I think those families had to be a little bit well-to-do in
Yeah.
order to support that.
Well, I think of like Little House on the Prairie. You know, Laura was always walking through the woods.
Yeah, right.
So,
Right.
okay. Yeah, yeah. And so then, so what was her dad? Do you know what?
Her-
Yeah.
Her mother and father.
Yeah, her father and mother. Yep.
They settled from the farm. They settled in Marathon City, which was heaven to me when we could go
Yep. When you could go visit.
Grandma Kate for us older kids would get a week in the summertime.
Okay.
And I swear my brother Jim always got more.
So it was like a competition, not a competition, but
Yeah,
you
'cause
wanted
he
to make
had-
sure it was equal. You know.
My mother's oldest sister, whose name was Frances, but we called Aunt Sis,
Yep. Okay. That's
lived
funny.
with them always with
Mm.
Grandpa and Kate and Gaga, we call her. And my
Okay.
grandma Kate would say, "Just call me Kate."
Yeah.
She didn't need to be called grandmother or any
Yep.
of that. And she was a wonderful, wonderful lady. And I wanted to be just like her. It chokes me up to talk about her. She's a lovely
Yeah.
lady.
Yeah.
And she was always making, if she knew we were coming to visit, you
Yeah.
know, she'd have a million big white sugar cookies all laid out on the cupboard.
That's funny because for you, it was always just like a kiss. You know, those chocolate Hershey kisses were laid out for us.
Oh, yeah.
For like the sweetness. And you always had a platter of everything from your kitchen. You would pull even the good stuff that like even us kids would be
The
like,
good stuff.
"You have this? Only rich people have this." You know, it's like, but
Yeah, well, that was important.
yeah,
And my mom taught me how to do that,
Yeah.
too.
no. So I could see how that
Yeah.
got passed down, and
Yeah.
you can even see like us kids, Caitlin, my sister is the only one that's like been moved out for like a very extended period of time without like coming back for like a month or two because of housing
Yeah.
changes, right? And she even has like a plate of something that like if you walked in
Wonderful.
you could grab, and it's like
Yeah.
you could see how that tradition almost gets passed down through the women of the house kind of thing. And
My grandma Kate's candy dish always involved peppermints.
okay.
Yeah, so most of the time they were just they were kind of hard, but you put them in your mouth and they kind of disintegrate. Those kind of peppermints.
Those are my favorite.
Okay.
And when you would also put peppermints in yours,
Yeah.
but you'd have those like a few of those, and then you'd have some of the like basic
Well,
ones
then
that
you know the country got all hung up on health and
Oh, yeah.
wrap it up and don't give everybody all your germs.
Oh,
and-
so that would that have been a
kind of
time where you
thing.
just scooped up and put it in your own bag, kind of thing, and they weighed it, or
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
Karen's
crazy.
Karen's Candy Shop downtown,
Yep.
Wisconsin Rapids,
Okay.
was right next door to the Wisconsin Theater.
Huh.
And my grandpa, I.G. Beam,
Yep.
that was my
Yep.
dad's dad, would every Sunday afternoon he would drive his green Buick around the three neighborhoods,
Yep.
and all his cousins got to pile in the back of that
How many
green.
kids did you have back there?
Oh, 8 maybe.
Okay.
7, 8.
Yeah.
I don't think he didn't put. Well, if you weren't wearing diapers, you could go. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, okay, makes sense. Yeah. I was gonna say,
and
was
you-
there anyone in the trunk that had the short
No.
straw?
But anyway, whatever was playing, he
Yep.
loved the movies, and that's where I get my love of movies from.
Yep, which is probably why I get my love of movies from passed down.
Yes, yes. And so anyway, we'd stand in line in front of that Wisconsin theater, and he would go into the candy store in
Okay.
Kieran's and
Yep.
get a big bag of stuff.
Like a
And-
mixture of
Yeah, a
stuff.
mixture of
Like
stuff.
what kind of candy would he put in there?
Oh my! Covered caramels, chocolate round balls. What do you call those? We still have them at Christmas time.
Still have them.
Chocolate covered with the middle is kind of hard when you chew into
Oh,
it.
Whoppers.
Probably that's what they're called.
Chocolate.
Yeah, they're kind of crunchy inside,
Yeah.
and
Right.
you know,
Something like that.
yeah.
No one's gonna be able to fact check us. They weren't there. You could say whatever you want. Was licorice a big thing or no?
Yeah, but he wouldn't buy licorice
Yeah.
because we were in his green. We called the green car a pickle. We called it the pickle.
Okay. Yep.
It got called a pickle later in life because,
Yep.
and then he finally passed that pickle down to my dad,
Oh.
and then my brothers. I think they came up with the pickle name
Okay.
because it was well used and you
Yep.
know it was
Yep.
getting older and older and funnier and funnier and but one of a kind.
So you go to the movies. So was that like a once a month, once a week?
Every Sunday afternoon,
Okay.
all our parents would go, "Oh, thank God, Grim and Babe," and then the parents would either stay home or go to the corner bar and have a beer or two, and
Yep.
come home.
Mm-hmm.
But that was their. Then they got a little time alone.
Yep.
Otherwise, it was pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty stringent.
And he got to go to a movie with people and not by himself.
And yeah, I guess that's it.
Yep.
And his wife, grandma, if she really liked the movie, she would go. But most of the time, she wouldn't. She wasn't real crazy about the grandkids like he was.
Oh.
She liked keeping
okay.
things neat and clean.
And that's tough when you got kids running around.
right.
Yep.
And I never saw her change a diaper or anything
Yeah.
like that. She didn't do any of that
Yep.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mommy, he called her.
Yep.
Mommy's not going to the show today. And if Mommy wanted to go to a show, he would take her at a different time.
Gotcha. So he'd
Yeah.
go to the movie twice, or
Yeah.
I think he'd go to a different
Oh, yeah.
movie. Or how many screens were in the theater then?
Well,
Was it just one
one
screen?
screen,
Yep.
yeah.
Mhm.
And the best theater was Wisconsin Theater.
Okay. Why was that?
It was gorgeous.
Yeah, okay.
Upstairs, thick red carpeting and couches and, comfortable
Okay. So it was like,
furniture.
so it wasn't like what we, like I think of Ripon. So Ripon has the first Marcus Theater ever made. So
Oh.
Marcus is that theater around Wisconsin. I think now it's more Midwest. It's
Mm-hmm.
expanded. But they've got chairs that feel just like this, when you watch your movie.
Okay, these were stuffed, everything. I mean, it was
Yeah, but
comfy.
you're saying it's got like the lounge chair vibes. Which if you go
Absolutely.
to like a newer Marcus or one that was
Yeah.
obviously not the first one, they've got the chairs that like it feels like you're in your lazy boy in your living room and you hit the button, your legs go up and
Yeah.
and you fall back asleep and then you sleep the whole movie instead of watching it, I guess if you're my dad, that's what happens. But
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So you went to the movies. Did you have a movie or a trip that you remember the most?
What I remember the most, other than a trip, I didn't take any trips
To like
at that time.
to the movie, is there a movie that you went with him that like you were like, I remember when we watched that movie?
I see him
And
on TV every day.
Is there one that
TCM,
is there one that you remember?
that one right behind your head, we saw.
This one?
Yes,
Casablanca.
Casablanca.
This one's probably better move this one.
Yeah, and I've seen it. I
Okay.
can't tell you how many times.
So, wait, when was Casablanca made, Alex? Because I wonder what year that was. Because that's one of the films that got me into film. I watched that in
Okay.
class, and I was like,
And I may have
huh.
been a little older.
Yeah.
But he didn't look up. You know, it didn't matter. The
Well, and back
movies were all decent.
well, and
to
back
speak
then too.
of.
Wait, do you have a date?
1942.
Yep. And
There you go.
back then you didn't have Netflix or Hulu, so you couldn't just
Yeah.
be like, I think I'm gonna watch this movie that was made back in 2008.
Mhm.
It was like, hey, we watched Casablanca once as a community in this movie theater. We have one screen. This is the day Casablanca is being reshown. If you want to come and watch it, kind of like what in that Sunday afternoon would probably be a time where they would not play a new movie, they'd play a rerun, and that was probably like still super popular back then, which is
There were 2 or 3 times when I was a kid that there were movies that only my mother and dad would go to. My mother
Yeah.
would say, "This is not for kids," and they are so mild.
compared to today.
Oh,
Today is crazy.
it's crazy today.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
it was just,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that might have been one of them. I don't know.
Yeah.
They imagined all kinds of things. And
Mhm. Growing up, did you have, like, what was your source of like entertainment growing up? I can give you like some examples if you want.
Yeah.
So like, piano obviously would have been one form of entertainment. Did you read a lot? Did you watch TV? Did you guys have a TV growing up, or that really wasn't a thing until, you know, later in life, or did you just listen to the radio and
I think I was in 6th or 7th grade when we got our first TV.
okay.
And it's because my brother got a job at the local grocery store, and he bought a black and white TV for the household.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Did
he,
you
of course, was 3 years older than I was.
Yeah.
and-
did you ever have nights where all of you guys would like sit around the TV kind of thing?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I like every Sunday night. In fact, I was just thinking of
Yep.
this in bed last night. The priest, the Bishop Sheen.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was on every Sunday night at 7:30,
Huh.
and everybody in the family gathered around to listen to Bishop Sheen talk, and he talked for half an hour, and I met Bishop Sheen.
That's right. Okay. Do you want to
And I met
let's
him
do that
in-
story.
I
So
met
how did you meet him? Like, where were you when you met him?
in Chicago.
How old were you?
I was in high school.
Okay, so was it a trip?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was journalism convention.
Okay.
And me and my friend, she was the head journalist of our school paper, and I was page 4 feature writer.
Okay.
And
Yep.
we were the best of friends.
Yep. That's funny.
And so we went to see Bishop Sheen. That's what,
Yep.
all we wanted out of that trip. There were like 6 people that went. And Father, he was our head of the school,
Yep.
principal.
Yep. Principal, there you go.
And I can't pull up his name right now. Good looking, dark, like you. Just every bit as handsome as you. And he wasn't as tall as you,
Yep.
but
Doesn't have
just
the
a
long
real
legs.
sharp dude.
Yep.
Yeah. And he took us really nice
Yep.
5 or 6 kids that in his brand new Ford that was black and white.
Okay.
And it was just the sharpest vehicle in Wisconsin Rapids.
Yep.
Because it had to be 3 days old.
Okay.
And so he put 3 in the front seat, and we had probably 4 in the back
Yep.
seat. So that's how many kids went on the trip.
Okay.
And you had to have a good journalism grade to go.
Yep. Okay.
You know, so
So it was just 7 of you students that went
Out of the
down?
high school.
Okay. And did you stay in a hotel?
oh, we did.
Okay.
Conrad Hilton.
All right.
Yes. And so Jeannie and I went solely to meet this wonderful man. And he was supposed to have Mass at 8 o'clock
Okay.
on this given morning.
Yep.
And she and I got up late. We got up about 5 after 9 or something. It was just
Yep.
terrible. I don't know if we cried. We wanted to. And we went down to the desk immediately to see if he was going to have another Mass.
Yep.
And
So was it in the hotel that he was doing the
yeah,
mass?
yeah,
Okay.
at the Conrad Hilton.
Okay. Yep.
And so they said, no, but if you turn around, you'll see him. And here he was standing right behind us. And I've got a picture. I have a beautiful picture of her shaking it. He
Yep.
had his hand out, ready
Yep.
to shake her hand.
And you
And
had the
I took
camera
a picture.
ready. Yep.
She gave me the camera.
Yep.
Here,
Yep.
And after I got done taking her picture, I gave her the camera.
Yep.
I says, okay, I want a picture with this man too,
Yep.
because after all.
Mm-hmm. Just the reason we came on the trip.
So we just sighed all the way home. We couldn't believe that we had met.
Well, you
Bishop
accomplished, you
Sheen.
know?
Yeah,
What
we
you came
did.
did, you conquered it,
We
you know?
did.
So you had a camera with you guys. Was it common to have cameras back then?
Well, it was just a little tiny. It was about as big as that.
Okay.
And it was probably cost $2.98
Oh.
in pennies. I'm talking.
Oh, okay.
You know? I didn't even have one.
Yeah,
Jeannie had the
yep.
camera. But she was an only child. Well, her sister was married, and her father had passed away.
Okay.
And so that was
Yep.
a different story. But
Mm-hmm. Got you.
She
So
was
that,
very smart. She got A's, solid A's all through school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Gotta love those kids, you know?
I know. I
Gotta become
followed
friends
her
with them
closely.
too. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I did it too.
And one of my best friends, and she passed away just about a month ago.
Oh.
And I missed it. I was gone. I think I was in Ripon. I don't know. I missed the.
Okay.
But
Yep.
she knows I loved her,
Yeah.
and we had a good
Mm-hmm.
run. But,
So you were 11 running the house when your parents were gone
yeah.
with all the kids. That's what your job was. Your other job was being
Just solid
the
babysitting.
piano player at church and
yeah, I played
organist
at church.
Was there any other jobs that you had in like middle school or high school, or did you babysit for any other families or anything like that?
A ton of them.
Okay. So was that another source of income?
It was.
For-
Some paid better
Yep.
than others.
So what was, I think I asked you this when we had a moment to talk, but I was asking like, what was the where would the adults go when you were babysitting? Where would the adults go on their dates? Like
Either to a bar or to a movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
And because like my first, I was like, was it a country club or something like that? And but
No, I didn't have too many
yeah,
clients that were
Yeah.
quite that well off.
yep, mm-hmm.
Friends of my parents and
Yeah,
neighborhood
true. Okay.
people.
Yep. Did you was there a competition between the babysitters on like how to get more jobs, or like what set
No.
you apart from other people as a babysitter?
Well, they knew once they had me, as soon as I get there, the parents leave,
Yep.
I start cleaning the house because all their houses are a mess. Because they got these kids.
Yep.
And, then I'll feed the kids if I have to, and I clean up that mess.
Yeah.
And if I have to bathe the kids before they go to bed, we could do that. And I enjoyed what I did.
Yeah.
And I could get them all to bed. And then I'd sit and read or watch TV. One house had a blackboard, and I loved drawing, so I would draw on the blackboard for hours,
Yeah.
till they came home.
When you would watch TV at that age, like that high school-ish, what was on TV that like...
I'm trying to think, who was this Blackie? Blackie somebody. He was not a cop, but, private,
A detective?
kind of private detective shows.
Okay.
I always liked those.
Yep. Those noir, black and white.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Those murder mystery where the girl is always lying to you at the end and taking everything you have, right?
Yeah, right. Lying, like I had a thing.
Yeah.
No.
So did you guys grow up then in the same house your whole life when you were in Wisconsin Rapids, like from when you moved from Wausau?
When we first moved from Wausau, we were just a block away from Grandpa Bain.
Okay.
So when after I went to kindergarten, it seems I had another uncle, his grandpa's youngest son. He was shell shocked in the Army. So he had mental problems.
Okay.
And so Grandpa built him a house. He had a girlfriend. And she was horrid. She was just witchy. We couldn't figure out what he saw in her.
Yeah.
And he was kind of meek and,
Yeah.
delicate anyway. So we figured it couldn't be anything good,
Yeah.
And, but they never, they did get married. Got married in the priest house because she was not Catholic.
Oh.
And the only way they could, a non-Catholic could marry a Catholic in our parish, you go to the priest house. And you can't do that in church, which just doesn't make sense. But
Like, I know today you have to get permission from, like, the bishop to get married in a church if you marry a non-Catholic. Like, one of my friend is not Catholic, but his wife is Catholic. And so then they got married in a Catholic church.
Oh, yeah.
But they had to go through the whole process of, like, doing that, right? And which back then wasn't allowed, period, so they've obviously have changed that, around.
Yeah,
but,
they've lightened up those rules a little, which is good because it was pretty difficult.
So you were living in Wisconsin Rapids next to Grandpa Bame?
Close, yeah.
IG?
Then we moved down the street to the end of 13th.
Okay.
And
is that Kellner then?
no.
Oh, 13th. That's right. That's way. So where does Kellner split the streets? If you can, like, off the top, like, where is that area, right?
It's funny, my father always took us for a ride in his pickle on Sunday afternoons. We go for a ride, always end up at the root beer stand on Baker Drive.
Yep.
And what was your other question?
Like Kellner, where does that fall in on streetwise, right?
Oh, okay.
So if 13th is considered Wisconsin Rapids, when is it considered Kellner, right? Because you live in Kellner right now.
Yeah. So 13, 14, 15. You go all the way to Baker Drive is what we did.
Okay, so Baker Drive is that cutoff, wherever
wherever
that street is.
And then that all got rebuilt up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. So then you lived in that house on 13th Street.
Right.
And is that where your parents then lived the rest of their lives, or did they move again?
On the end of 13th. Yes, except when they got much older, they were
moved to the home.
in the home.
Yep.
Yeah, Renaissance.
Gotcha. So then is that the house then that you would have spent most of your childhood or adolescence in?
I had the room upstairs, way upstairs.
Okay. Like, was it 2 or 3 floors? When you say upstairs, was it like the second floor of the house?
Second floor of the house,
Was
yes.
it the second
And my
floor of the
dad
house way in the back or something?
Yeah, well, my
Okay.
dad kept
Kinda like
adding
this room.
on to it, so pretty soon
Okay.
there was a whole upstairs as big as the downstairs.
Gotcha. So the house was originally not a 2-story, and he built onto it?
Absolutely.
Gotcha. Okay, and that's what I was trying to figure out.
Didn't even have a stairway in it. It was, Grandpa had that built for Joe and his non-wife.
Oh, so then they would have moved out of it, and then...
And he would have just given...
Gotcha.
Yeah, well, whatever. He would have given that house to them, and it's...
That would have done whatever they did, and then...
Whatever they
and then
did,
ended
and
up with...
Then Clemmy got... Because Clemmy was in need of a bigger house.
Yep.
And Grandpa was always there to help, which was very nice. And he was a very generous grandpa.
Yeah. How often did you get to spend time with him or see him?
When I used to play for daily mass, which was 8 o'clock every morning, when I was in about 7th and 8th grade, not so much when I was in high school because it would interfere. And I didn't drive, of course, so I had no transportation. Although I remember Father O'Connell was our principal, by the way.
Yep.
I remember being at Assumption and a taxi cab picking me up when I was a freshman, to go over to St. Peter and Paul and play for a funeral or two.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
I was top of Rich's list and and Higgins.
They pull you out of
both of
school
them.
instead of have someone else come in.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So the beat went on,
Yep.
and then I found myself playing on the stage at Assumption for all the choirs because
Mm-hmm.
Sister Euphemia was our musical director, and a wonderful one. She was good. We had wonderful choirs, and so she had a choir in every grade, freshman, sophomore,
Yep.
and so I would accompany all these choirs. I never got off the piano bench, you know.
Yep. So all you do is get better and better, I guess.
Gracious.
Okay, I think if I remember correctly, you met a president.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Mm-hmm. So
And-
what's that story of meeting a
Okay,
president?
it also happened at Assumption High School.
Okay.
The Republican people, the people that were in the Republican Party,
Yep.
decided to invite Vice President Richard Nixon to Wisconsin Rapids to
Okay.
this dinner of high monkey mucks in the Republican Party
Yep,
that came
yep.
from Timbuktu. I didn't know because we were Democrats.
Okay.
You know?
Yep.
And so I was called to please play dinner music because the vice president was coming to town.
How old would you have been?
18, I don't know.
Oh,
I was in
okay.
high school.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And
Did
18
you
or
have
19.
Did you have a repertoire of dinner music you tended to play, or was
The
this
first song I played was "You Can Be True, Dear."
like okay?
You know, because that was the first song my mother ever taught me to play by ear on the
Oh.
piano.
Did you learn a lot of music by ear, or no?
No, but I knew quite
Yeah.
a bit.
Yeah.
And I couldn't afford to go out and buy music books because Nixon was coming to town. You know. So our
He's only the
neighbor-
vice president. He'll never be president.
Yeah. And my father must have been doing tricks in the mill at the time. I don't. He
Yeah.
must have been so upset with me. I don't know. I don't think he was, but I did. They did buy me a new dress.
Okay.
I wore a new. I have a picture of it, and that's what I was going to find in those pictures
Yeah.
downstairs. I do have a picture,
Mhm.
and it's blue. You know,
Okay.
a beautiful blue dress.
During the red
Yeah, so it wasn't red.
wave.
And they put the organ up on the spinet organ up on the stage,
Okay.
and that's where I played from. And then, of course, the tables were down on the
Mm-hmm.
floor. And so after everyone ate, the guys that the Republican people,
Yep. Whoever.
head guys,
Yep.
brought Nixon up on the stage. Nixon wanted to meet the musician.
Wow.
Yeah, just imagine. And he
Yeah.
sat on the bench with me
Okay.
and shook my hand.
Yep.
And he says, "We're really enjoying your music." And he says, "You know, I used to play piano
Mm-hmm.
in Bible school or
Yep.
Bible whatever class and Sunday school,
Mm-hmm.
whatever they called it."
Yeah.
And I said, "No, I didn't know that."
How would I?
And here I am, just chit-chatting,
Chit-chatting with the
shaking
vice
hands
president.
with the vice
Oh,
president.
that's crazy.
Isn't that nuts?
Like I just like Alex, or we have Alex in studio also. But what I was gonna say was like I can't imagine getting a call, being like, "Hey, like we have this dinner party coming up. Like the vice president's gonna be there. Can you just throw a repertoire real quick for us and then play for us?" Like that. That wouldn't even process that the vice president would be coming, and I can only imagine what a big deal that was.
And I wasn't the least bit shaky or anything. I
Mhm.
was so at ease
Yep.
because it was such an easy thing for me to do.
Yep.
And of course, I had never played for anybody that
That well, and the only person that's bigger is the
the
president.
president. Yeah, I don't think I got that far.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was a big to do.
Mm-hmm. So you graduate high school.
Mm-hmm.
I know. That's when did you meet Grandpa Jim then?
Oh, when I was a freshman.
Okay.
Yeah, we had plans.
Yep.
You know, he was 2 years older than I was.
Yep.
And he went to Lincoln,
Okay.
so he was going to finish his schooling and then get a job,
Yep.
and then we would get married, which worked out.
Which is what happened.
That's just
Yep.
exactly what happened.
Yep. So what was he like younger?
Jimmy,
Yeah.
his mother was very protective of him, and he had a brother 10 years old.
Okay.
So when the brother was born, Jim was not allowed to hold his baby brother. He was never allowed to hold a baby in his arms, and so she was very protective of
Yeah.
Bobby too.
Mm-hmm.
And he was anxious to get out of the house when he was a senior in high school. He could have gone to college. He had a couple of offers for college, but they wouldn't. The parents didn't have any money to back him up, you know.
Yeah.
So he just first worked in Freeway,
Yeah.
and then
Which Preway, we learned about this,
Yes,
was
the
kitchenette
big old
and
furnace company.
which is kind of, if you think about it, kind of like what I did this summer working at Alliance,
Oh yeah, there's
So
nothing
I'm just following family
to
tradition,
hang your head about there, making a living.
Yep. That's what you got to do. Got to survive.
Yeah.
So he doesn't go to college and gets a job with Preway, is what you were saying.
He worked there for about a month or two, and then the mill called. We were waiting for the mill
So
to call.
that's what I wanted to ask you about. Like, how big of a deal was it to have the paper mill in Wisconsin Rapids?
Oh, huge.
Like, how did that impact the community?
Oh, it kept the community alive. I mean, it's almost a dead town now
Yeah.
because, consolidated. And, of course, what's his name? Ran the mill. Meade
Okay,
owned the mill
Yep.
and the town.
Yeah.
And he was a very good man.
That's what I remember my parents saying, that
I
he
swear he
helped
built
the community.
Assumption too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a good man. He spread his money around and helped people.
So you get the call. How do you get the call? Like, was he just applied and they're like, we'll get back to you kind of thing for the job?
Who's that?
Grandpa Jim.
Oh, when can I be there? When should I be there?
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
No, you get your fanny down there as soon as they'll tell you to come in.
Well, and that's what I was wondering, because I know, like, it was, like you were saying, that was the city. That was the life of the city, like, job-wise. So it was like everyone wanted to be in the mill, and there weren't enough jobs.
And not only did he get called to the mill, he got called to the beer and mill. And the beer and mill was just brand new, up and coming.
Oh.
And that was better yet. And then you had a better choice of working your way up the ladder.
Got you.
Quickly. You know, because the old boys that worked in the Rapids mill, they were pretty set, you know, and it was money. Money determined everything. How much, what did you come from? Got a money name, you're in, you know, huh?
That's why I was wondering if it was challenging for him to get into the mill, or if he caught it at a good time where he got in because they were expanding or whatever
He had an uncle, Uncle John, who was a superintendent or supervisor.
Yep.
And he put Jim's name in. Because the list was enormous.
Ending. Yeah, never ending.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
Got you. So Grandpa Jim's parents, where did they?
Dot and Ernie.
Yep. Where did they work? I think where did they live in Wisconsin Rapids or that area?
They lived on 17th Avenue North.
Okay.
Yeah, almost. You turn off. What's West Grand Avenue?
Okay.
Turn off West Grand Avenue to the right and just go all the way to the end of 17th Avenue. So that's where they lived,
Okay. And that's the west side of town?
the west side.
Okay.
So when Jimmy walked over to see me, which was after the first, well, he met me at a ball game. My father had taken me to my brother's ball
Okay.
game over on that field on the
Yep.
west side there by the Meade School. Not Meade. What was that school?
Is it like the one that's historic now, the historic field, or no?
Yeah.
I don't know what that's called, though.
I don't know what. I don't know what the name.
If you're
of it
watching
is.
this, you'll probably know what it's called.
Yeah.
Anyway, yep.
Anyway, on the west side, and now what was my point?
You met him at a baseball game.
Yes, his neighborhood girlfriend went to school with me. In fact, she just called me 2 weeks ago and
Okay.
had her 85th birthday and invited me to her birthday party.
Nice. Okay.
Yes, that was very nice of Annie. Ann Benbow was her name. Yeah. And that's her married name, Ann Benbow. I'll think of her maiden name, but I can't
Yep.
right now. But anyway, they were kind of like neighborhood friends on the west side.
Okay.
And so I was sitting in the bleachers with my dad, and I believe Jim. No, he was in the bleachers as well.
Yep. You're good.
And and she said, he says, she said, I want you to meet somebody.
Mm.
And he says, you see that girl up there? And he was talking about me.
Yep.
He said, yeah, that's who I want you to meet. He said, I'm going to marry her someday.
Okay.
And so we met. And the next day, he walked all the way from the end of 17th Avenue to 13th Street North.
Wow.
Which is quite a walk.
That's quite a walk.
And he did that quite a few times. He even did it in the wintertime
That's crazy.
when we had
Yep.
just a blizzard like we never have had too many of since. But, we used to get 4 feet of snow, 3, 4, the
Yep.
cars couldn't go through.
Yeah.
And here I saw him walking down 13th Street with a shovel in his hand down the middle of the road because
Yep.
there were no cars on the road. And, yeah.
Did he need the shovel to like make his way through?
Yeah,
or
he did. It's the only way he could get there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then he went back home. He shoveled his way down to Freeway because his dad was done working at 4:30 or
Oh,
something.
okay. So then he could get
so
a ride.
they could get a ride home
Yeah.
to 17th Avenue.
Okay.
We didn't do that real often, but
No,
once
yep.
in a while it worked.
Yep. No.
Yeah, things were tough all over.
So you guys meet. So you graduate. Did you guys get married like right after high school or?
Well, we got married in 1960,
Okay.
and I graduated in 58.
Okay. Yeah. So 2 years after you graduated.
Mm-hmm.
So would he have already been working then?
Yeah.
Up because he would have been 4 years out.
Oh,
by
yeah.
The time.
Clemmy wouldn't have let me go if he didn't have a job. And we had a house.
Yep.
We had a house that we rented out for almost 2 years.
Okay.
Little house.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we weren't allowed to go in it.
Yep.
Parents wouldn't let us go in the house. We wanted to go in and paint and such. And,
Set it up. Yep.
yeah, and we rented it to a friend of mine who had been working. She and her
Okay.
husband had been working in Milwaukee, and
Yep.
they were paying enormous rent. And
Uh-huh.
he finally came here and got a decent job. And Kathleen, and it was she belonged to the other funeral home, not Ritchie, but at the same time there was another funeral
Okay.
home,
Yep.
and that was her parents.
Got you.
And I used to go in that old
Yep.
funeral home and play dolls with her up with
Mhm.
dead people. And she would open up one of the caskets. Look at this. And then there was an empty casket, and she got in it.
Yep.
Oh, you crazy kid.
Yeah.
You know?
That's like when you go to the woods though with your friends and like maybe you're like a city kid and so you're not used to the woods and,
Oh,
you just
absolutely.
see your friend doing some crazy like picking up snakes and stuff and you're like,
Oh,
what are
yeah.
you doing? You're like it's like they're used to that. That's to them
Yeah.
that's normal. So it's
Right.
not that strange of an
They
idea
like
to them.
to surprise their friends.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you graduated high school, did you ever go to college?
Mm-mm.
No. Was there a reason you didn't want to, or you didn't, like, not that you didn't want to, but
I had a free ride to Stevens Point University in music.
Hmm.
And the principal at Assumption had called me in the office
Yeah.
just before graduation and said I could get you in there. And my father would not let me go. He said, how are you going to get to Stevens Point every day? And that was a big deal.
Hmm.
He had a car, finally,
yeah.
and he had a job in the mill. And I don't know if Mom drove at that time, but, gas was 30 cents a gallon or whatever. It wasn't
Yeah.
the gas.
Yeah.
It was just him being him, I think.
Hmm.
He can pull the strings, and
Yeah.
he was in charge.
And there was no way that you would have been able to afford a car. I'm assuming it was so expensive. And yeah.
No,
Mm-hmm.
no. So my first job was in the courthouse.
Okay.
And I got a very nice job. The mill. I also was called to the mill to work in the office because that was all us girls worked for as seniors in high school. Who's going to get the call to work in the mill office? Lana got the very first call the day they.
Let's go.
And my father says, "No, you're not. You are not going to work in. No daughter of mine is going to work in the mill
Gotcha.
office because
Okay.
that's where the money was."
Yep.
And it was what he must have figured I would never get called. I don't know what he figured,
Yeah.
but he let me know in a minute.
Did you know that before or after you found out you could get the job?
I didn't know it before. I mean,
Like he just didn't assume you'd get the job, so you never had to think that he
Right,
had to tell you
right.
no. But then when you found out and told him, that's when he said no.
yeah, because he was
Okay.
home when the call
Yeah.
came in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not. No daughter of mine's going to work in the Rapids mill office.
Do you know why that?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, because all those girls peddled their wares, and
oh,
he just thought I would meet bad people and
yeah.
not be the nice Lana girl that she's
Yeah.
been all her life.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe he thought he was going to lose me too early because I was a big help to him. I was
Yeah.
an important
Interesting.
source of his vacations and everything else,
Yeah.
and he was I was kind of like his client, He had all these idiot friends and
Yeah.
all in need of a babysitter, and he was, "Oh, I got a good babysitter for you."
Yeah.
So I started out making a quarter an hour babysitting,
Okay.
and then I moved up to 50 cents. And I don't think it ever got.
Did you move yourself up, or how did?
No, they actually paid me
Okay.
more.
Yep.
Yeah, they
Okay.
must have all felt guilty or
Yeah.
something. I don't.
Yeah,
I
highway
took what
robbery.
they gave me. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just go down to a little shoe store downtown on the east side. I could tell you where it is, but it's not there anymore. So,
Yep.
and buy a pair of shoes.
Hmm.
I had 50 pair of shoes because you could buy a pair of shoes for $1.98.
That's what I was gonna ask you, how much it costs. Okay.
$1.98, $2.98.
Yep.
And I loved shoes, and so that made me happy.
Mm-hmm.
So when I walked down to church and played the organ,
Yep.
I had all these.
So you get a job at the courthouse.
Yes, Matt Canadle was the county superintendent of schools.
Okay.
Good Catholic man. He was from the West Side, and yeah, he had a gal working for him. I can't think of her last name. I can think of it. Do you want it?
Go for it.
Her
Okay.
maiden name. She was from Buren. And she had been working for him for 2 or 3 years. And she knew that office up and down.
Yep.
And she set up all the bookkeeping and everything. So only she knew
Knew
all the
where the answers and stuff were
and
needed.
she
and
would-
where's-
She was nasty. She was,
So that would have been your boss, kind of.
yes,
thing?
yes. She was just real jealous and you should have seen her the day I got the letter from Nixon in the mail. It came to the courthouse.
Oh, okay.
And of course, my boss came out. Well, look who we got a letter from today. Miss Lana Bame.
So this would have been after the whole
Yeah.
thing, and then they would have sent that later on. Was it a personal letter he sent you?
Yeah, I've got it hanging up over my piano downstairs or organ.
I've never noticed it. I'll have to go check it out next time I'm there.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh.
Yes, and he was thanking me for
Yeah.
playing and so forth. Yeah. So one or two things like that, and she settled down a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you can try and beat me, but you're just a dumb, I don't know how to say it. But.
Yeah. No, I think we get the picture.
Yeah.
So how long did you work in the courthouse?
2.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you're still playing for churches?
Yep.
and
Still doing all my
events
organ
and-
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started teaching piano.
Okay.
And so I would, I'm trying to think if there was a break in there.
Did you work for, I think I heard my dad talk, or no, this is what it was. So when I was starting this podcast, I remember you and I were in your living room, and it was just you and I. I don't know why, but we were talking about how I was gonna start this show in January, and that this was like a big deal to me because I didn't know how it was gonna turn out or look like, all that kind of stuff. And you were saying how you started piano lessons, and that was like your version of this show because that was your own business that you started yourself.
Yes.
However, I think you were talking that you worked for a music shop, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Music store. I was actually Glenn Daly Music.
Okay.
His head person, piano
Yep.
player guy, was he could play anything off the top of his head. Marvelous
Okay.
piano player. But he had a very bad drinking problem. And yeah, so he got ousted.
Okay.
And one of them I think he had a wife too, and
Yep.
she came in the store, and she was going to be secretary, and so
Yep.
old Glenn put up with just so much of that. So he called me,
Okay.
and I had so much on my plate already.
So were you doing lessons already or was that your introduction?
I was
to
starting lessons,
Okay.
and there was an old guy, and I can't remember his name, who was giving lessons out in the country. He says, Lana, I want to retire. And he said, I go to the homes, and I go to these farms in Rudolph, Vesper, and he said, you don't have to sit in the store on Saturday afternoon and wait for people that are not going to show up for lessons. He says, these farmers do not have a means to get their kids to lessons.
Yep.
You know, I had an old car, that old Dodge. The front looked like the back. They were just the ugliest car. I bought it from one of my music friends.
Okay.
She's now deceased. It was kind of like my Bonnie is now.
Yep.
This was Bernadine, and
Okay.
we did weddings and
Everything,
funerals
yep.
constantly, and bought it for $35. That old, was it a '57 Dodge? I think, and it was just like a truck. It would go through the snow because when
Yep.
you get out in the country in the wintertime
Yeah,
and
no one's
snow,
going out there to plow for you.
yeah,
Yep.
right. And I gave lessons in Rudolph and Vesper, and all those in betweeners there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're working for the store and doing that now.
Oh yeah.
And do you have any kids yet?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Like probably babies.
Yeah, and that's what I was wondering. So
Couple of
while
babies
while
and-
this is going on, your home life
Mm-hmm.
are you guys still in that small house?
For a
Yep.
while we were,
Mm-hmm.
and then we moved out to Kellner, which felt like a mansion,
Yeah.
and it was brand new, and wasn't finished yet. You know, the house in Kellner. I'm trying to pin down the year, but like I said,
Yeah.
I didn't have time
No.
to do this.
The year's not a big deal. Okay, so you're working for the store. Did you work your way up in the store, or how? Like, what was your duties being a store? Were you
Well, when he
salesman
left, I
for
could-
piano player for the pianos? You were trying to sell pianos, or
Yes,
Okay.
I demonstrated pianos, organs. I could work the cash register. I
Yep.
could wait on customers. I
Yep.
could do everything, and Mr. Daly liked that. You
Mhm.
know, he was a little tight with his money, and he thought he found a real treasure in
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
You know, but I had a young family, and you know, I
Yep.
can't spend 100
Uh-huh.
days a month here.
So how long did you work for the store?
Must have involved having a baby,
Yeah.
and that was the end. I
Yep.
don't know which one.
Okay. So
Yeah.
then that was the end of, was that the end then of working for companies and
Right.
other people,
Right.
because you still continue to do
I
lessons
was
then?
still good. Then I'd still continue homes,
Yep.
and then when I broke my ankle,
Mm.
and I have, you know, all that
Yep. Gnarly scar.
stuff in
Yep.
there. I had to stay home, and I wanted to teach, and so
Gotcha.
that's when I started
Yep.
teaching
Mm-hmm.
at home.
Just slide this closer to you so we can hear you better.
Okay,
All right.
and
So the foot kind of held you up then from being able to go out
right,
to do lessons.
right, and then when I could go out again, I was
Yep.
you know, out teaching on foot before
Yep.
that. Then
Did you ever buy a piano from the store? Like, did you ever get a discount, or did you ever get a piano from the store? Like,
I did.
okay. Did you always have a piano in your house, like when you moved out of your parents' house, or that's just not something back then that you would have, and like only the doctors had pianos, right?
Yeah, actually, I took my organ. I bought an organ
Mm.
when I was a senior in high school.
Wow.
All the girls took trips and stuff,
Yep.
and I bought an organ.
Okay.
And it was in my mother's house, of course.
Yep.
And then that's what I took with me when I got married.
Mm.
And I was knock on my door one day, and Mr. Glenn Daly's at the door. He says, "I will put a brand new." Give me a name of a top grade.
I'm blanking on it too.
Yeah.
A grand, but something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't
Uh,
a grand because my living room was small, but a brand
Yeah.
new whatever piano. You know, it'll
I
have-
can't even think of a piano brand. It's like literally on the tip of my tongue. You can picture it right on
See,
the like
these
the
are
keys.
things I wanted
'cause-
to write down too.
Yeah.
But,
Alex, give us a brand of piano so we feel better about ourselves.
Yamaha.
well,
trying to think.
Yamaha is
Like a
what they
Steinway.
sold.
Steinway, that's a piano,
Thank
right?
you,
There we
that's
go.
a
We're good. We
good
got
name.
one. We got one. I'm like, I know a piano. Like,
But
yeah,
Yamaha
okay.
is what he put in my living room.
Hey, we love
I will
Yamaha. Hey,
give
this
you-
guy's a Yamaha right here. Yep,
Yeah.
we love our Yamahas.
He will.
My trumpet was a Yamaha.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. They were a big up and coming.
So was it
company.
like a gift, or he gave you a discount, or?
He gave me quite a discount. I
Okay.
rented it, $10 a month or something. You know, it wasn't
Yeah.
anything
Mhm.
phenomenal. And yeah, so there I was.
Okay. So then you had it, everything you would need in theory
Yeah,
to practice.
and we worked. Ernie would come and pick up one or two babies, whatever I had,
Yep.
so I could teach like on a Saturday or if Jim was working the right shift,
Mm-hmm.
he could take care of the kids in
Yeah.
a different room. And
So how old would your parents been when they retired then?
well, Clemmy worked till he was 62ish.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't know.
Yeah.
He worked as long as he could.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know like benefits were way better back then than what
Oh,
they are
yeah.
now, and so like retirement funds and all that kind of stuff. Like you never know if someone who really kept their money on a DL could retire earlier than maybe people thought. But I don't know. I've talked about this with my dad. Like Wisconsin Rapids is like. I went driving with him one day. I don't know why. We were in Wisconsin Rapids for something, and we were driving down all the streets like downtown, you know, and then like the more commercial area.
Yes.
And he was just like, that's what that store used to be, and that's what that store used to be. And he's like, there was like literally 7 camper RV shops in Wisconsin Rapids because all these people had like however many dealerships because all these people had money from the mill that they gotta spend it somehow, you know. And just like how like the downtown like by the water by the mill was like the popping place for like when they were in high school, like that's where they would go to like the bar or something, or not the bar, but like, you know, just like out to eat or something like that and hang out and stuff. And it was just interesting because I've never seen the city like that. Like you said, it's kind of dead now because the mill is no longer in operation fully like it once was. And so it's so interesting for me to think back then, like what that place would have been like. Like you remember, you know, Cars the movie, Lightning McQueen.
Yeah.
You know Radiator Springs.
No.
Like that's the city that he's in, like in the country. But
I didn't know the details. I remember pictures.
Yep. No. Okay. I'll break this down then for the audience and you. So Lightning McQueen, right? He gets stranded in Radiator Springs, and that's the little town where Tomater are and all that stuff. Okay. And it's kind of like a beat up town and not too hot. No one really goes there anymore, right? But one night before Lightning McQueen ends up leaving to go to the race, he like helps everyone fix up the downtown and everything. Okay. And then for the people that have been there for like the 20 years, they've never seen the place so alive like it once was. And like I picture like when my dad was describing to me what Wisconsin Rapids was like, I was like, oh, it's that scene from Cars where all the lights are on. Yeah. It's beautiful, gorgeous. Like it's the place you would want to be because there's just stuff happening like that night. Yeah. But then it's like me growing up as a kid coming to visit. It's like, oh, like I just see it as the Radiator Springs, like in the beginning of the film where it's like beat up, dusty, nothing's really going on, you know. So it's like I can only picture what maybe it would look like back then to be the place to be in Wisconsin because of the mill and whatnot. But
yeah, made such a big difference. And you know, like we had 3 thriving theaters. You know, the Rapids Theater down.
Well, you could if you only had one screen. Yeah, you could have multiple theaters. Like now, theaters have 12 screens. You know, it's like
sure.
Well, it'd be hard to have 36 screens at all. It's like a big city like Oshkosh wouldn't even. Yeah. Barely needs one. You know, with that many screens. So it would make sense why you could have 3 theaters because everyone's showing something different on a given night. You know, so you break your foot, or. Yep. Then you recover. You had to because I've seen you walk before, you know. Where do you go from there? Do you continue to do lessons at people's houses, or do you ever have lessons at your house because you have the equipment, or
That's when I had people come into my house.
Okay, so you broke your foot, so it was like I can still give you lessons, but you got to come to me.
Yeah, got to come to me.
And then did most people be like, sure, we'll come to you?
They did.
And then you were like, I'm not leaving. Like I don't
anyway.
Even though it's healed and I could go, I'll stay here and just teach lessons and Okay. How much did you charge lessons like throughout your time of doing lessons with kids
when I used
and
to
people?
Go on the road? I remember I used to go to Jim Higgins and give his daughter lessons.
Yep.
He said you should be charging 3 times what you're charging, and I believe it was $2.50
at the time. That's what you were charging.
Yeah.
What was the first time you charged someone for a lesson? Was it like $1 or 50 cents, or what did you charge?
Probably $1.
Yeah. Okay. So then at that time, throughout that time, you would have been
because I was out in the country. That's kind of where I started. I didn't start in my house. I started out in the farmers.
True. Yeah.
And they were so good to me. I would come home from a lesson around 4:00 on Saturday afternoon with a fresh chicken that had just been murdered about half hour ago. And it was all plucked and ready to go in the oven or wherever you want to put it. You know, and I had fresh supper.
Ready to go.
And they probably sent a big old loaf of bread, you know, beautiful. They were so good to me. I had such wonderful clients. And Those old farmers were the best.
Mm-hmm. So you then have lessons at your house.
Hmm.
Do you lose a lot of clients, or most people transfer
I
to
never
your
had a
house?
problem. I
Yeah.
always had a waiting list.
Yep.
At one time, I had a waiting list of 72 people. I did.
I was thinking like 10, 12,
No.
72.
No, I was. And then when I got into giving the doctor's kids piano lessons,
Yep.
I was going to homes.
Yeah.
And they're all in cahoots. You know, the
Yep.
doctors, dentists,
Mm-hmm.
and then I up my pay a
I was
little
gonna say you
bit.
have to.
Yeah,
'Cause,
you
yep.
gotta.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And,
Inflation these days. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So how long did you do piano lessons like for other people, like not including family? Like how long, like when was the last piano, like 15 years ago, 10 years ago?
I think 75 to 80, 1975 to 80.
Okay.
I absolutely quit everything at 80.
Okay.
In 1980, I had enough
In 1980?
lessons. Yeah.
Oh, I always thought you did lessons like all the way through, but
No, I had quit.
gotcha. Was there a reason? Just busy, or you didn't need the money as much anymore, or
Yeah.
kids moved out?
Yeah. And Bonnie, too. She, and I was doing all these things on the road with her. And because she and I had a great
Yeah.
music duo
Gotcha.
going.
Mhm.
Richie used to call us his dynamic duo
There you go.
as soon
Yeah.
as somebody
Mm-hmm.
died.
So, as you're doing all of that, you're having kids. So, how many
Mhm.
kids did you have?
I had 5.
Okay.
Mhm.
Was that your plan to always have 5, or
I wanted a house full.
yeah, house
And
full?
so did Jim,
Yep.
because he
Had only
grew
one.
up with a brother,
brother.
10 years,
Mm-hmm.
apart. And he didn't want that. He came to one of our Christmases
Okay.
one year, and that's the kind of Christmas I want. you
Yep.
know?
It's funny you say that, because you've seen, like, trying to see a way to put this. Like, I have friends that have small families,
Mhm.
and like if you were to go to an event at their place, it's either like very small, or it's like most of the time they're leaving to go to some other place because it's like, well, we want to be with more people,
Right.
where it's like my family having 7 of us now, 8, it's like that's plenty of people. And then
Yeah.
you start adding significant others into the mix,
Yep.
and it's like there's no, you are a full house. Like,
Yeah, you
there's
got
really
it.
there's no need to like have more people come
That's right.
over or go somewhere else
That's right.
to do so.
Got the built-in party right
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Built-in friend group was what, like,
Yeah.
I remember growing up, because we moved all over Wisconsin growing
Mhm.
up, that you never really had that like friend group that you were tight with your whole life because you were just moving.
Mhm.
And we never had phones, and
Right.
my dad would always say, he's like, well, your siblings are your friends, like, and his famous quote would be, you don't go to school to get your emotional needs met. You don't. He's like, that gets done here at home.
That's right.
He's like, that's where those, like, you need to talk about something, or you need, like, you have friends here, like, don't let someone, like, and the whole thing was like, you come home and be like, oh, so and so like bullied me, and he's like,
Mhm.
well, why are you hanging out with them? Like, then maybe don't hang out with them. Like, we're not there to like meet friends. We're there to learn, get smarter, and then like
Right.
do something with your life. And like, if hopefully you find friends, like, it's like it was like, hopefully you find friends that you can hang out with, but that's not the reason you're going to school, to find friends, and so
Right.
he would always say that. And when I was younger, I didn't really quite get it, but then eventually I matured, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're right, because
Yeah.
you
Good point.
only can be friends with some people for so long, or weird stuff can happen in friend groups. Except for Alex and I will always be friends. Yeah.
That's right.
So I'm trying to think. When you look back on your life, was there anything that you would
Do different.
do different? Like, if, and it's not necessarily that, okay, maybe it's not that you would do. If, like, for example, you said money was the issue for college, or just the ability to go to school, right? You didn't have a car, that whole thing. Like, do you sometimes think back and be like, oh, it would be kind of fire or cool would have had to have a car? Like, I wonder what that life was. Not that you necessarily would go back and do that, but like, do you think about those things that like, oh, what if I would have went to college? What would have happened? Not that I would have wanted to, even if I had the
I
opportunity.
think I could have been quite a musician
Yeah.
if I would have had higher learning.
Mm-hmm. What kind of musician? Like,
I could have done anything. I could be a band director. Maybe I would be playing piano at Carnegie Hall.
mm-hmm.
Who knows? You can go a million ways.
Would you have wanted to be a
in
teacher,
music.
like a music teacher?
Well, I got my share of it.
Yeah.
You know, I was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to be a
And
music
being in
teacher.
charge of your whole.
When I was in 6th grade, we had to write a paper. What do you want to be when you grow up? And I remember writing a nun, music teacher, and a church organist.
There you go.
Those were my 3.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you have any
Regrets not going to the nunnery? No.
Well, you got to discern that too. I think there was a moment for me where I was like, I think I might become a priest, kind of like what you were saying.
Yeah.
And then you're like, would I do that for the right reason? And then for me, I realized I was like, I wouldn't do that for the right reason. You know, like obviously we need those people in the world, but I don't think I would be a good priest because of this or this, you know. And it's like, I've always had a dream of having a family. It's like, well, you can't when you're a priest.
Yeah,
you know?
me
So
too.
it's like,
if I'd have missed having all those babies, because I grew up taking care of my mother and dad's, and
was there like a dish or food that you would cook all the time for your kids or for grandpa?
When I used to get piano lessons and have to leave the house, then hot dishes were.
Hot dish.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
Those
a hot
were
dish,
in
not a hot casserole.
Yeah. That was easy. Something I could throw in the oven before
Yeah.
I left, and it would be done by supper time.
Yep.
Yeah. And then the boys would eat all the meat out of whatever I made, The girls, there wasn't any meat left.
Yep.
Sorry.
Finders keepers,
That's the way it goes. Some days you lose.
Yep.
Some days you
So
win.
the house. So thinking back to like stories I've heard from my dad and whatnot. So the girls were upstairs and the guys were downstairs. Is that kind of what happened when? Meaning, like your kids, like girls were upstairs and boys were downstairs.
Oh yeah,
in the
well they
basement?
were all upstairs for
Okay.
a while,
Yep.
and we had to do something because
Yeah.
there's too many of us.
You said the house wasn't finished when you bought it. Did you guys have to finish the house?
Yeah, like some of the trim around the doorways
Okay.
and some of the doorknobs and
Yep.
little things like that. I'm pretty sure the garage was the structure itself was finished.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
the
it
inside.
felt like brand new.
And that's what I was wondering, if the basement was finished or if it was just
No,
concrete.
we finished.
and-
My father finished that basement, and that's when the boys moved downstairs.
Okay, and that's what I was wondering.
Yes.
If that had
Yeah.
always been finished or not, because I doubt back then people were finishing basements like
Yeah.
they do today.
And Jeff and Jay were, they were like in 7th and 6th and 7th
Yep.
grade, or Debbie and Kim were ahead of that, but they were
Yep.
upstairs.
Okay.
But yeah,
you-
that basement room was.
Yeah.
And it was full of junk. I mean, come on, let's clean this up and put a couple of bunk beds
Yep.
in there, and it was great.
Yeah. Do you have any stories of naming your kids as to why you named your kids the names they have today?
Kim, I was just telling her the other day.
And that's what I'm wondering, because I'm hoping they watch this at some point, and then this could be something maybe they haven't heard as to why you called them, or they were named the way they were named.
Well, let's start with Kim.
Okay.
Jim and I we used to spend a lot of time in Wapaka
Okay.
on weekends swimming, and there were nice places for couples to go on picnics and things
Okay.
in
So it was like a
Wapaka.
vacation for you, and
Yeah, it was
okay.
great. great place to be in. And when we were first married, we used to go to the Candy Cottages with our
Okay.
family and loved it
Mhm.
because of the area.
Yep.
And let's see now, what was the meaning of the?
The name. So you said Kim had a
Oh
the
yeah,
reason she was
Jeff
named.
and I, Jim and I. Yeah, Jim and I were
Yep.
swimming, and this little girl kept swimming around us.
Okay.
And I says, "What's your name, honey?" Kimberly.
Okay.
And
Yep.
we didn't have any kids yet.
Mhm.
And, so that's how Kim got her name. I
Okay.
thought, if I have a little girl,
Yep.
her name's going to be Kimberly. And it had to be somewhere in between after we had Debbie, too. So,
Yep.
But we spent a lot of, Paco was our place to chill.
Mhm.
Because I remember one time Jim and I went there for a picnic on a Sunday afternoon, and we were walking over this bridge
Yep.
and met 3 priests that we knew,
Okay.
Yep. So I'm glad we're behaving and
Yep.
everything's
Good
cool.
company.
Yeah. Imagine meeting you guys here.
So how did Debbie get her name, or how did you come across that name?
Debbie. I loved the name Debbie,
Yep.
just for some reason. I don't
Was
remember.
it a popular name at the time, or?
It was. There's a lot of Debbies out there.
Yeah. Because and for people obviously that don't know my family, it would be Debbie's the oldest, then Kim, and then Jeff, Jay, Tyler. So then how did Jeff get his name, being the first son?
Well, I wanted to name him after his father, so we had to go get something that we'd put James in the middle so it wasn't 2 Jims,
Okay.
A lot of our relatives, there's 2 Jim Duprees, there's 2 so-and-so, Jim this, Jim that.
Okay, so you were like, we would love Jim, but there was already so many Jims kind of
right,
thing?
there were so many Jims around.
So you wanted something that was close-ish?
Right, or use it for a middle name.
Yep.
And that's how Jeffrey James.
Okay.
And my grandma Kate heard that she was talking to Mom on the phone, and she says, "Yeah, Lana just had a baby boy, and they're naming him Jeffrey James." Says, "Oh, not that sweet little baby. You're not going to call him Jesse James," because she thought he was the old cowboy.
James.
I thought, oh, yeah, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And but anyway.
And then you have Jay. How do you come across the name Jay?
Jay. Well, I don't know. We just liked that
Just
name.
like the name, yeah.
There were a lot of Jays around.
Mm-hmm.
Jason. Some priest called somebody Jason all the time. And that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of it had to do with priests and nuns. And
so is Kay's full name Kimberly?
Kimberly.
Okay, and Jeff.
Kimberly.
And then Jeff is Jeffrey?
Jeffrey James.
Jeffrey James. And then Jay, is that his, or
Jay
is it?
Jay David.
Okay, Jay is his full name though. Okay, I didn't know. I never knew if that was like an abbreviation, because like we had the other names. And then you have Tyler, my dad.
Yeah.
So then how does he come up with his name? Because that's my middle name. Tyler's my middle name, and Isaac's. So
Yeah. Tyler, actually, this is kind of funny. I was working at the music store
Yep.
and very pregnant,
Yep.
and God, I probably quit working for a week before I had him,
Okay.
Yep. And the lady that was working with me, she was truly an alcoholic, poor thing.
Mm-hmm.
The last morning I went into work, old Glenn was just beside himself. He
Yep.
said that any
Yep.
bleep person
Bleep, 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 bleep. Yep.
came in and threw up all over the store. And he said, "She's fired,"
Yep.
I was asking where she was or something like
Yep.
that. Okay, what else did you want to know about that?
So you were saying that's how you got Tyler as a name.
She's the one that told me. I liked this lady so
Yeah.
much. She was so good to me
Yeah.
because her and her husband were going to buy the store because Glenn wanted to sell out.
Mm.
And he had bought a music store before and was in the
Got you.
business.
Okay.
And then she was just along for the ride.
Yep.
Unfortunately, she was just an alcoholic.
Yeah.
She could do bookwork and
Yeah.
sell, to people.
But she recommended the name Tyler, or
Yeah, she says, I said, I don't know what to call my baby. She says,
too many names. I don't know what to pick.
why don't you call him Tyler? That's a sweet name. She said, there's so many people down and they had come from Texas.
Okay.
Named Tyler. And that's where I got that name.
Gotcha.
From that poor alcoholic
Did
lady.
did you ever think about possibly buying the store?
Glenn Daly told us, he says, I will make it so easy for you
Yeah.
if I sell you this store. But it wasn't in the cards.
Yeah.
Jim wasn't excited about it.
Was that something though, like he just wasn't excited about it, but you would have had maybe the money to do it, or it was kind of a both?
We would have had come up with our own health insurance.
Oh.
And we had a family, and the mill paid for the health insurance,
Yeah.
and who knows how long it would take you to start making money, like Glenn Daly told him.
Yeah.
He says she'll make all your money for you, because I could play all the pianos.
Yeah.
And the minute I play a piano for Glenn, he's this is a piano that will be a little stronger.
Yeah.
It's not a spinet, it's the next one
Mhm.
up, and I don't remember what their
Yep.
names were. And he says, so play the bass a little harder. And so I would succumb to his, wares
Yeah.
and make money for old Glenn, like he needed more money.
Okay. Yeah.
He was so rich. He came
From the stores?
Yeah. He was a very rich man. He married a rich woman.
Okay.
She was dead a long time ago, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So that was your chance to buy.
It was our chance to
Chance.
buy the music store.
I know. It's so funny, like, when you look back at things that, like, going, like, you just playing the piano. Like, had you not played the piano when you were young and fell in love with it, it's like, I can't imagine how that would have changed your life, right? Because it sounds like the piano was a very intricate part of who you are, what you did, who you hung out with, all that kind of stuff, right? Just like just like someone who's like into basketball, those are the people I hang out with. That's, if I become pro, whatever that is, then it's like that option of going to college. I wonder how that would have changed your life that way if you did that, and then what would have happened if you would have like bought a music store? Like, you would assume the way you played the piano, you could probably sell any piano in there. And everyone had money back then to buy a piano. And so it's like, it's like that thing. It's like, would you have then ended up growing multiple stores, or like, like you never know what could have happened.
But I didn't have any business background.
Yeah.
I wasn't a good business person. I gave away so many lessons and so many music books that I didn't charge people for. And I don't know if I think they appreciated it.
Oh, I bet so.
You know,
I remember getting lessons from you. Like, this would have been, I was too young to get lessons.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where it's like my older sisters were kind of at that right age to see, like, hey, would this something that interests you?
The problem was you've got to have a lesson every week.
And we lived so far away at that time.
And you got to practice at least 5 days a week. And I know it just wasn't happening. And in the whole family, that's how it went.
Well, and then, for you're saying like all grandkids and whatnot,
Right.
I still laugh on the story with AJ.
AJ got fired.
Yep.
My grandma
love you, AJ.
fired me for piano lessons. It's the only person she ever fired. But he would just come down to visit.
Yeah. I know that's the one downfall of living so far away.
Yeah.
Which but back then that was Grantsburg was that time.
Yep.
And then Whitewater, but it was like that was the only principal job hiring, because back then
Your
everyone
mom
went
knows how that goes.
Everyone at that time was going in for education. So like if you weren't the top of the top, you weren't even being looked at for any job because you had about 35 applications. Where it's like now it's like you're lucky to get 7, and then you pick from the 7, and it's like if you didn't have something that made yours stand out, you were in the bottom of the stack, and they probably didn't get you, and so I remember Grantsburg was the place that we ended up going, which was so far away from family, and
That was.
because we were in Wausau before that.
Yeah, your dad always called it Egypt.
Yep.
And
We were in
I would
Egypt.
can I come stay in Egypt for a while? You know?
Well, and then we moved to Whitewater, which was like almost.
Oh, that was a lot better.
It was a lot better, but it was almost like instead of being way north, you were way south.
Right.
But that would have been like the start of like, see if you can play piano, you know, and then see if you could keep up with grandma or whatever.
Piano was on the porch, I remember.
But I remember always going to your house as a kid and being like, and this would have been when we were a little older, so like maybe more middle school and like older elementary, like 5th grade, and being like, Grandma, can I touch a piano, like keys, like which one can I touch or whatever? And you'd be like, well, you can't touch the electric one, because at the time you had the one
Right.
against that wall that it's like, because we didn't want to mess with any settings, and you were like, you could touch the piano that's like farthest away. It was like your second piano, the one that no one
Second piano, yeah.
And it was like, okay, sweet. And then at one point you're like, yeah, I don't really care about that little mini organ down there, like you can mess with that. And so I remember us being kids being like, just clicking the keys and be like, wow, this sounds so good, because ours was like an electric keyboard that you could probably snap over your knee because it was so thin, you know.
Yeah. And those electric, whatever they were, just didn't have the sound.
No. I remember I had an audition for 7th grade, and so the year before it was like, come with a song to sing. And so I didn't know that, but we got one together. But then the second year they switched directors, and so I in my brain I was like, okay, I got to come with a song to sing. And I remember you happened to be over that weekend, and I was like, Grandma, can you help me figure out a song that I'm able to like sing for my audition? You're like, yeah, we could figure something out. And I remember you were teaching me how to play, but also like teaching me how to sing the Izzy's I can only sing it Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Over the rainbow.
Sure.
Blues and star, whatever the words are.
Yeah.
And I remember I was singing that, and then it turned out we had a new director, and he was like, no, you're going to sing my song. And I'm like, well, sorry, Grandma. We did all that work for nothing because I didn't even get to sing it.
Never for nothing.
But I remember that was like maybe the last time I got like piano kind of lessons from you was.
And the problem with any of the grandkids, we couldn't get together every week for the lesson.
I just got my first lesson in however many years, 8 years from you, from downstairs. We were plunking out of the book, kind of. You were teaching me the strategies of what fingers to play with, whatever combinations.
Yeah, and I could hear it in your playing. I was in the other room, and I knew what fingering you were using.
I was trying, at least.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I frying my brain just like I was frying yours with euchre. But.
Yeah.
I'll have to have you take a picture of euchre's, the sheet I made for you. So that you can take it home and just study it. So next time you come, we can play it, you know?
Now that's hard stuff. I can't even believe I did that.
I was so impressed because you were saying back then girls weren't allowed to
play cards
or be with the guys in the guys, whatever they called it, room, you know?
Yeah, the sheep head.
Yep, sheep's head. And then you were saying you would just go into your room then and play your piano or listen to the radio, because what else are you going to do, you know?
When they wanted me to play the piano, it was just perfectly all right.
Yeah. And then they'd be like, oh, that was beautiful. All right, now go back to your room.
And the organ, when I bought my organ when I was a senior, everybody that came into Clem's house, Lana, come and play your organ for these people. Give it a break,
I'm
Dad.
Charging now, Dad.
Yeah. Give it a break.
Last thing. So you grew up and you graduated high school and you lived with your parents for 2 years.
Yes.
You had to pay rent to them.
I did.
How much was rent?
I had to pay $80. Must have been a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think
when
about.
I was
back then, how expensive that would
right
have
out
been.
of high school, probably.
And so then that's why you needed all those jobs.
Yeah, it was. I had to get a job.
There was no free way.
I could do that to me.
As like I think about like being in my parents' house, and it's like, I mean, the talk is like make sure you're not making a mess after. Like keep your stuff clean, and then we'll cover the rest to like help you get out the door, kind of thing. As I'm sitting here, 23, and not 20 like you were. So.
Cool.
How times have changed, and I've been on the better side of that for sure.
Yeah. No, you're a good guy.
Before I cut us off, was there, because I'm not sure if I'll get another opportunity to have you on here, is there anything that I haven't brought up or that you think about that you're like, I would want someone to know this about me or about our family or something like that?
No, I think we've covered pretty much
Yeah.
all the highlights. And I mean,
Mhm.
after all,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
uh,
We still got years ahead of us. So,
yeah.
Yep.
And important people that I met,
Yep.
that, you know, that was important to me.
Mm-hmm.
And covered that.
If there was one piece of advice you could give to
Oh, boy.
all of your, I don't know what you call it, grandchildren, all
Mm-hmm.
of your lineage, you know, what would be that advice to you? Like, it could be life advice or advice about something personal. Like, what would you tell them?
Oh, just never give up on your dream,
Mm-hmm.
no matter how unimportant you might think it is or difficult it gets. Just keep plugging ahead. Just keep going until you reach your happy place. You know?
Yep. We do have the right to pursue happiness here in America.
That's right.
Yep. Awesome. Well, Grandma,
Yeah.
I appreciate you so much for letting me take your time and coming on this show. It means a lot to me, and I'm sure it will mean a lot to people who watch this. So with that, we can take our GoPro shot. So we'll look at the small camera in the middle.
Okay.
So thank you, everyone, for watching this episode of the Jordan Whitrock Show. Thank you, Grandma, for coming on and being a guest. If you haven't already, drop that like, subscribe to the channel, all the good stuff. And we will see you next week with another episode. All right. Peace. See you later.
Peace.
Awesome. Perfect.